I don't know if that's harder.
It is. Look.
Hold on.
The mic.
QCP.
right. Okay, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Just turn on his music.
I just don't want him too loud. So it doesn't.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
All right. Pre-show starting.
Yay!
How you guys doing?
Joker, oh my
We're good.
hero.
Oh man, I know this isn't Heroes of the Storm or whatever, but did you guys? I know you watched a little bit with me, Jordan. The Smite tournament.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Oh yeah, Josh, you watched it.
Yeah, I watched part of it.
You were at home when you watched it.
Yeah, I watched part of it.
Some good games.
Man,
I think it'd be really
that
cool.
Geb running away, man.
I think it'd be really cool if that's what Heroes turned into. It's like to get to that
Think that
point
way.
where there's like tournaments happening.
Well, I mean it's Blizzard and they like their StarCraft tournaments.
Yeah, but a lot of like the esports comes from the community, whether or not like we as players and community push it for esports. I mean, obviously there has to be balancing, but that's on Blizzard's end. But we have to be the ones to push it for the esports.
Right.
Yeah.
Teams have to come forward. You know, companies or whoever sponsors have to want to be able to do tournaments. Yeah.
I think it still needs to be seen if it's gonna be
Well, yeah, like it's still
viable
early,
for like
super
tournament play,
early, but
because it may not be like really set up for that.
yeah, I just think it'd be pretty cool to have like tournaments for it, even like in closed beta. I think it'd be cool to see.
As long as we have a client where we can spectate and have two pre-match teams play against each other, tournaments are going to happen.
Yeah,
What is that?
It's just the notes.
yeah.
Well,
That creaky couch, man.
Yeah,
You can hear that, eh?
Yeah.
It's the pleather. It's the leather.
My over $9,000 couch.
900.
Over 9,000.
taking you 9,000 days to pay it off.
Yeah.
Seriously, man.
Anyways, that's neither here.
Oh, is there background music?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
A little bit.
The StarCraft Brood War music. Oh yeah, Sam said that. So in 30 seconds you'll find out that yes there is.
Because that Twitch delay.
That Twitch delay.
Yeah, and that delay.
Apparently,
So,
Joker said he found a sword when he was doing his Diablo run last night.
oh, did
Yeah, he lost damage, but he summons this demon that does 50k damage a shot.
Oh, cool.
But it's-
Saying that now?
yeah, he said that in a few minutes
That's
ago.
pretty awesome.
Like there's a sword that can summon things.
Joker, can I have it?
Oh yeah.
Can I
According
have it?
Can I have
to
it? Can I have it?
Can I
according
have
to the
it?
illustrated thing I made, two of you guys need to be holding hands. So just letting you know.
It'll happen. Like it's not like it's not.
You can't
going to
force
happen.
it. It has to be a natural hand hug.
Yeah, it's gonna feel natural.
Gotta be natural.
It's gotta be natural.
Good.
Stop short.
Oh.
So, is there any games you guys are looking forward to aside from Heroes right now? While we're on like a pre-show.
Yes.
Here's the Storm
thing?
beta.
I know which one. I know which one you're talking
I
about.
don't know when it's coming
That's
out.
not at least for another year. At least.
They're like, yeah, it's gonna come out at the end of this year. Yeah, right.
The Division.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that looks really good.
I cannot wait for
The Division.
Good.
It looks sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm stoked. I'll stream that for sure.
Oh yeah.
You need like a $7,000 computer to run that.
Party and stuff.
Oh. Hard to say, right?
Yeah.
4 to 8, maybe. I don't know.
Land party.
8 would be quite a bit, I think. I think 5 or 6 would be a good solid
Goat
number.
Simulator, yes.
Goat Simulator.
That's your favorite game, isn't it,
I
Josh?
can't stand it.
It's hilarious.
What that
It looks so
It's-
good.
It's a novelty game that's gonna
Yeah,
It's
make.
like, you know, like Gary's mod and stuff like that. It has like physics from the Steam engine, but it's a goat.
You're a goat.
You're a goat.
I guarantee
Why?
it's gonna be
It's
in
just
the
for
top
fun.
3 on Twitch.
It's like
for about a
Octodad,
week.
but with a goat.
Right.
Kind.
Yeah, it's a flavor of the week kind of game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
That's- That's what it's meant to be.
It's.
It was only made by like a couple of
It's
guys.
I don't know where you are from where I'm pointing, Justin.
I'm to Josh is the closest one to me, Norel.
Okay, so these two, aside from Cut Jordan out there, are like excited for the game, and I don't.
Why?
Well, those who pre-ordered it already have it, and they're
You're
streaming it.
pre-ordering it?
Well, you can.
It was community
the
funded.
alpha thing. It's
What
like,
is it?
It's like what's it called? The DayZ. Like it's an alpha kind of right now, but if you pre-order it, you can play.
Yeah.
Well, it comes out in like 2 days though.
You just run around doing stuff.
Doing stuff.
Yeah, if you
Like,
you try to
you
destroy
just
things.
attach tongue to stuff.
To stuff, and this guy
Right,
like
and
attached
whip it
his
around.
tongue
It's
to
just
an
for fun.
axe and started whipping it around.
Yeah,
and
whipping
he
an
hit
axe around and
somebody.
hits
Oh,
people.
I see.
It's just something you just run
It's just
around.
it's just
Like
a
mount
fun
your
game.
friends?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
mount your friend. It's just a fun.
Yeah.
Like a
That
fun.
game is ridiculous.
Yeah, and like Joker says, bugs are a feature. Like they said they're getting rid of the bugs that crash the game. Everything else is hilarious, so they're keeping it in. Like that just shows you the mindset of what they think of Goat Simulator. Like
That's
that's the kind of game they're aiming for.
I like that.
I've been pounding back Diablo 3 expansion.
Yeah, you've been going pretty hard.
Yeah,
on
you've been
that.
going hard on this.
I think I went to bed at 8 o'clock in the morning last night.
Well, yeah, we
This
both
morning?
did.
Night.
You were playing longer than I did because
Well,
I
yeah.
got on a call.
It was the the adventure mode.
Yeah,
I got hooked.
which
Did I
I'm
say-
actually
And
going to
Nephilim
be.
Rifts.
I'm
Nephilim
going to be
Rifts.
playing tonight. And I'm getting.
I'm
Crusader
so
to
glad
7.
what they've done with the expansion.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They've made it back to Diablo, whereas before it was just so boring.
There's more to do. It's
And-
more interesting now.
Yeah.
I find.
Yeah. Like it wants
Because
you
the
to-
whole bounties thing is cool.
Yeah, it makes you want to
Rather
play
than
more.
just doing story mode over and over
Yeah.
and over,
It
you
makes you
have
wanna
a
play
reason
more,
to
that's
go to
why.
a specific zone.
Yeah.
Not just to farm a boss, but you're going to get the
Like
blood
XP,
shards, the extra XP,
yeah.
the gold, and the boss plus the loot from
and like
the
those
boss.
shards. What is it?
The
Keystones?
blood
The blood
shards.
shards.
Oh well,
Yeah,
you
the
get the
keystone.
keystones for the rift.
Yeah. For
Yeah,
the
yeah.
rift.
5.
But I don't
back,
know. Me and Jordan, we were looking last night, and the blood shards seemed kind of pointless.
Yeah, it's so
The
hard.
stuff
to get
that
a
we were getting was like
legendary.
level 61 stuff.
Just garbage.
And I don't know.
Well, I was getting all 70 offhand things that I was looking for, but they're all worse.
Well, maybe
than
because I wasn't 70 yet.
Yeah.
But
All right, so for those who watched last time, we were all in the same room then, and we did it at my parents' house, which none of us live at, and that's not something we could do every time.
You know.
So
I live in their basement.
we're actually hermits.
they don't know. Their window wells are occupied.
So Josh is okay. The three of them are joining from Josh's living room, and Josh does not have internet fast enough to stream.
Yay, Bell, if you're watching.
Yeah, Belle, if you're
You
watching.
suck.
So I'm the only one that has internet fast enough to stream, but I don't have a space big enough to do what we
These
did
guys-
last time.
These guys have internet.
I
fast
have
enough
the
to
internet,
stream,
but
it's just they were here anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
So this is just how we did it.
And you guys like my sword and shield, my Nerf sword and shield up there?
The coat of arms.
Yeah.
It
nerd hood.
survived
that-
exactly 1 year.
Yeah, actually
wow,
a
it's been
year
exactly a year.
because we put it up on Jordan's birthday last year, which
was
was
yesterday.
So it put it up for 366 days.
Joker, I want that sword as a birthday present.
Yeah.
I have
Can
it.
I have it? And I have it.
Except for now, that's account bound unless you're in there.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't there.
So Josh, you actually found something called Mr. Schmidt's Reaper?
Yeah, man, a two-handed axe, and it does like 1700 DPS or 22 or something. It was actually pretty good. I was shocked when it dropped. All I could think, I was like, I gotta tell Justin about
It's
this.
called Mr. Schmidt's Reaper.
Yes.
Messerschmitt's Reaper.
Like World War II German technology mixed
Oh,
with
yes.
Mr. Schmidt.
Protoss.
Mr. Schmidt.
Mr. Schmidt.
Mr. Schmidt's Reaper.
Yeah.
That's what it's actually.
That's what Malthael's actual name is.
Mr.
Yeah,
Schmidt.
Mr. Schmidt.
Mr. Schmidt.
Yeah, it's exactly what I found it. I'll show
Mr.
you next time you're
Anderson.
around Diablo or something.
So what is this account bound thing? Items you
legendaries are
find-
now
So like
account-bound.
legendary and up. Well, not and up, but because there's legendary
There's something
and
past legendary
well,
that I'm not aware of.
it's not
Set
past, it's on
items?
par set items.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
So
they're
like
not up.
legendary and set items are account bound.
Why is that?
So it works kind of how like it was in WoW, where if like an epic dropped in a raid, whoever's in there, it can be traded between them
Within 2 hours.
within
or something.
2 or 3 hours, and then after that, it's account bound to your account, so
And
you
the
can't
time
trade it.
stops when you go offline.
Yeah, when you log off.
So when you log off,
So if you
that
log
2
off, it'll
hours-
stop wherever the timer was at, and when you log back on, it'll start again.
That's
So-
interesting.
Yeah. So like, if you're just playing a solo game, you get a legendary drop. You can't trade it with anyone else, not
Yeah,
even like
for-
on your friends list or anything.
for all the days. It's just
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, Joker, you want to see my mouse pad I got? Da, 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 da,
Oh, it's in a week.
I can't wait.
I can.
1 week.
Week from today, Game of Thrones.
Well, 1 week from tomorrow.
Vikings,
Tomorrow.
though.
Wow.
Vikings, the newest episode.
was pretty intense.
Was
There's
it?
a couple people.
I
in
haven't
the
seen
house-
it.
No spoilers. No
house right
spoilers.
now haven't seen it.
Man, I
So-
hated
I
that
need to
what's his
catch
face
up.
died.
You shut
Oh,
shut
dude.
your mouth.
I was so upset.
No.
Don't even.
Anyways,
Floki did not deserve that. I'm kidding.
I hate so much the things you choose to do.
Just everything you hate.
And I thought
It's intentional, actually.
it was an interesting design choice to kill off the main character and his entire family. I thought that was really
Yeah.
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
many
I-
producers are willing to take that risk.
Joker, I told him about the gold raining gloves that you got.
yeah, that's kind of neat.
It drops stacks of gold.
Does it look
Yeah.
gimmicky? Does it look gimmicky or does it look kind of cool?
Yeah.
A hand just comes out and starts doing this. And
It's like Bad Grandpa.
It's the Jackass movie.
Yeah, Bad
Where
Grandpa.
he's Stage and he's like throwing the money at the little kid or whatever.
It's like gold.
At the beauty pageant. he
Yeah.
does it.
The beauty
He's on like a little boat,
Oh,
and
man.
it folds down to like a stripper pole on stage. And it's a boy, but they like got him dressed up in drag. Oh, it's all.
Yeah, I'm right
It's
there with
weird,
you,
I
Joker. I'm not. These guys are jerks when it comes to spoilers.
Yeah, right.
I don't
I
spoil
don't legit
anything.
tell you anything.
Except for.
Except for you do. I don't. I hate being spoiled, and I know what it's like when somebody ruins something. So I
We
don't
spoil
do
you
it.
in other ways.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
so
you do.
spoiled.
We spoil you.
Spoil.
I want to see Justin. I can't see him. I need to do that.
Yeah.
Up if we can see him.
It's just weird if I can't.
The only way for me to do it would be cut off part of, like, here. Let me try something here. I can do this. Cannot start video. Oh no, can't do it with OBS.
It's fine. We can.
No
I
big
remember-
deal.
It's like.
Curious? We think you'll like what you see. That's a credit card.
All right. We got
They can't-
1 minute till the actual show.
That's the words for the.
What's going on?
Okay, before we start, there's one more
6:59.
game I'm excited about.
Yeah.
And you guys haven't really been following it too much. I don't know about you, Justin, but you're the one who showed it to me, actually.
Oh, I
Is
know,
the forest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which actually kind of sucked, because now that you tell me about it, they released a video of the forest, and somebody was using the Oculus Rift with it.
But now Facebook.
So now they're using, like, Facebook goggles.
Yeah. Is that what they're called now?
No, it's still gonna be
That's-
Oculus Rift.
I call it Facebook specs.
I was so angry when
They're
Justin
Facebook
told me
specs.
about that.
Yeah. When I found out.
Facebook specs.
Facebook Glass.
Face specs.
But yeah, anyways.
Face specs.
Anyways,
For your face.
If you guys don't know what the forest is, you should go look at
Yeah.
it. It looks really cool. It's like a
It has crafting. It looks really similar to Rust, actually.
graphics Minecraft.
Kinda. Yeah. It takes elements from a lot.
It's
of
an
different
adventure
stuff.
kind of thing. Like you
It's crafting.
It's going really good out there right now, actually. But anyways.
Oh
as I was-
no.
I know, right?
I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, the forest.
Forest.
Yeah, you're like.
And
it's-
Facebook sucks because they bought Oculus Rift. Or Oculus Rift sucks because
You're
they
in a
sold
plane,
out to
and the plane
Facebook.
crashes, and you're on like some island, and you have to use the resources around you to survive.
Yeah.
Which is going to be really cool, I think.
Because there's
And if there's a-
natives on the island.
If there's a
Yes.
multiplayer part to it, then like building a fort like with your friends and stuff, and
Yeah.
surviving. And
I built
I
forts.
think it would kind of be like Rust, but like way better graphics and more with a PvE element to it.
Well, Rust is PvP. Like,
That's
I
what I
think-
mean.
I think something cool where
I think
the more
yeah.
resources you have, the stronger things try to attack you.
Right.
Like the natives gang up and they'll do like night raids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, Rust has a different purpose. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rust is very PvP.
Yeah.
But I just mean like the survival part of it.
yeah,
Because with Rust, you have to go and you have to gather your wood, you have to make your ammo, you
yeah,
have to make your guns, you have to make everything.
yeah.
That's cool.
So,
Hey,
I
do you
actually
know,
haven't played Rust yet.
do you know it actually works out? You know how last episode, the way the overlay was, you, in order to look at us, were looking in the wrong direction, like just the
Yeah.
way the boxes were lined up. I have to look on my monitor that has you guys on it, so I actually look towards the direction on cam of where you guys are, according to the overlay.
Where do I look?
And that's
You.
special.
That works out.
You
You're
look
over-
exactly to Josh and Josh. Yeah, you guys would look that direction.
You're over there?
Hey,
Yeah.
Justin.
Hey, Justin.
Oh, hey. Oh, hey. All right, so let's hop into
Let's get into the beach.
our
jump into
heroes of the
the
storm.
beach.
This is our Quarter Circle Podcast, episode 2.
Episode 2. So welcome everybody. For those of you that didn't join us last week, we are Quarter Circle Punch, and this is the Quarter Circle Podcast. My name's Justin. I go by the handle of Sergeant Rock, and I'm kind of leading the charge today. You guys want to introduce yourselves? Let us know what you've been doing since the last podcast. I can't imagine it's too much, but let's start with Sailor.
Me? I am QCP Rosie. Also, everybody just calls me Josh. I'm the only cool Josh that's actually here.
I think
Who's
there's
that
such,
other dude?
There's not
Yeah,
such a thing
I
as
don't
a
know where that
cool
other
Josh.
Josh is, but he's a jerk.
I just been I've been looking up some stuff on Heroes. I'm excited, man. I like how the game looks. It looks really smooth. It looks really polished.
Yeah.
I want to play Abathur. Like that's who I think I'm most excited to play.
Yeah.
Is Abathur. From what I've seen, he just looks really cool. Just a totally different element to the game that no other MOBA has, and I don't know. That it just really appeals to me, the situations that he can create.
Mhm.
But I just been looking up stuff on Heroes and playing some Diablo and doing some LAN parties with these guys and having some fun, man.
Yeah.
It's all about the gaming, right? That's why we're here. That's why-
I'm Jordan, or QCPSuperFineElf, or Jay, whatever works best for you. I've just been pounding back Diablo runs and hours and hours and hours, and like I said, I was up till 8 in the morning today, last
we
night.
don't even play Smite anymore.
Well,
Not
I
right
jump
now.
into a game here and there, like yesterday I did that last night.
Yeah.
It was my birthday yesterday.
Yay!
I am 21 years old.
yeah, sure.
31? 81?
24.
Yeah, sure.
But,
He
Age
wishes.
is just a number.
Yeah. You guys don't even know.
I'm this many. Wait. I
31.
don't know if it's flipped.
31.
Anyways.
Anyways.
But as you can see, I'm ageless, timeless. But,
Baby face Jay.
yeah, that's right. But yeah, so that's me.
And I am also a Josh. I'm ZeroNett.
Squared.
Yeah. I'm half.
You're the square one.
Half of the duo. ZeroNett. I've been playing Diablo 3 a bit. I'm loving Crusader. Crusader's awesome.
Agreed.
So much fun.
Dark Souls 2. Been playing that. It's super good.
How are you liking that?
I really like it.
Yeah.
It's super fun. What else? I'll jump into Smite every once in a while.
Just
And-
Heroes.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to
Heroes.
play Uther. Because he's a big jerk and nobody likes him.
Gosh.
Because he just heals it through everything. You just see
I
you guys,
see so
whatever.
many times.
Uther's gonna
He's
be
just
fun.
running with like 10 hit points and
Yeah.
he's at half health.
Uther's gonna be fun, and even these guys don't really like, what's it, Leap Torn?
Oh, ETC?
ETC. You guys don't like him. I don't know. I like his moveset, his abilities. I think he's gonna be fun to play.
There's no desire to.
Yeah.
Like,
He
there's
looks fun to
zero-
me. I don't know what it is, but he looks super fun.
I forget he's in the game.
He
Well,
looks super fun to me.
I'm sadly reminded he's in the
I would have rather.
Why? I
have
don't
seen,
understand why you hate him so much.
I would rather have seen Gammon.
I know.
Yeah, no, that's true. Gammon with that moveset would be sick.
Gammon would be
If they
wonderful.
change it to Gammon, that would be awesome.
And he'd just be like a super beefy tank.
Yeah. I don't know. They should change him to Gammon.
Yeah. Gammon would just be awesome.
But-
It's so fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
I'd rather play Hogger than.
Dude, Hogger is so
Hogger would be awesome.
Hogger would be cool, actually.
Hogger.
Yeah, but nobody could beat him.
Or even be like one of the dragons. I think that.
Or some like
Alex
summon a
Strasser or
Hogger.
something?
Yeah.
Summon a Hogger. That'd be awesome. Have a quest to go get Hogger.
Like, who doesn't like playing? Who doesn't like dragons? Like, let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Alex Strasser or whatever.
Even if you're not like, I'm not talking like just World of Warcraft dragons, but
Like friggin' Smog.
Smaug.
yeah, put Smaug right in there.
Smaug.
Desolation is
Smaug.
Great, terrible.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the points that we have. We're gonna have the first point we've been talking about is actually something that many of the high profile gamers have been talking about, and Idra has a direct quote that I'm gonna read out here. He says, "As a player, I think the biggest thing that needs to change is that things need to be more powerful." He went on a pretty big paragraph there, but what it can be summarized down to is that the heroes have too many hit points and it's too easy to not die. So, it's we don't know. Like, is this something that Blizzard has intentionally done? Are they trying to make it so that people are less frustrated when they're playing? What do you guys think? Is this intentional, or is this something that's going to be ironed out?
I don't know if it's intentional, but I think it does play down the rage factor.
Well, in a way too, but then if you look at it from the other perspective, you
They're
want to kill
raging,
someone,
yeah.
you're raging because you can't kill
Can't
them.
kill them.
So I mean, it's
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know what it is, but I'm very passionate about like this whole topic, because what is more frustrating than joining into a game of League of Legends or Dota or HON or Smite, whatever it is at the MOBA that you play, and you're in a team fight and you die within 2 seconds because you got globaled by somebody.
Yeah. Dying too
There's-
quickly is a problem.
It takes
lot of
away
MOBAs.
from the actual game itself. Like, if you're like, I understand that there's squishy characters and there's tanks and some people can take more damage, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But if you're a caster and you die within 2 or 3 auto attacks from an ADC,
Yeah, that's no fun. That's no fun.
it's just it builds up the frustration, and that's why I say, like, I'm pretty passionate about it, because the way that Heroes has done this is in a way that it's in a way that, like, you can have team fights and not one person controls the entire fight
Yeah.
with globaling somebody. Like, I've seen people just completely unload their entire arsenal of talents and abilities, and the person is still at half health.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point, it comes down to whether or not there's skill as to when you use your abilities and not just dumping them.
Yeah. But it's also looking like a lot of it comes down to controlling fights. Because, like, things like Kerrigan, she has, like, a pull, a knockup, a jump, things like that, where it's not all about the damage output. It's about
It's not at all.
controlling the other player.
This game is not about killing people. Yes, it's a bonus for your entire team. You get, I mean, I keep wanting to say you get extra gold, but you don't, because there's no items. It's just, my mind is trained.
Yeah.
But you get extra XP for your team, and that's one person less
On their
on
side.
the map,
Yeah.
Right.
which is 100% bonus.
Yeah.
But if you can force somebody to go back, even past a moonwell, to go all the way back to the base,
Or even just push them off an objective. Like, you don't
done
have
your
to kill them.
job. You've
Yeah.
done your job at that point, because that frees the person, like, for your team, to make it a 5 versus 4, or if they have an Abathur, to make it a 5 versus 3. Physical characters that are there, and
Right.
you can push an objective really hard.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Like,
I love that.
this is something that a Redditor came up with a point, and I'm actually going to read it just as he had it. I've tried to find it so I could give credit, but regardless. He says, "I think the part everyone is missing is that there is more to the game than killing heroes. I've seen many complaints about how hard it is to actually kill an enemy, that they can just get injured and walk away with low hit points. But when you put an opponent on low life, they're in fact limiting what they can do. It's simply another strategy that needs to get around. So you gave 3 options. 1, you got to go back to your base. 2, play passively until you can gain some life. Or 3, make a risky attempt at normal activities. And obviously there's risk of dying and giving up that additional experience. And that's something big, because the fact that as long as you're kind of paying attention, you can walk away from a fight without dying, means that you're still on the board. And if you see, like, let's say Tyrande, she's got that owl that can fly across the map, and near the end of the game it actually deals quite a amount of damage. You can still do abilities like that, and you can still knock out their heroes that are low on health, or even do a little gank or something if you're Nova, or anyone else that can go cloaked, right? So I think that's something that could be used in some really intense moments of play, and I think that's pretty exciting. If you have a Nova that has like an 1/8 of her health, and suddenly gets cloaked, hides in a bush, walks around, and snipes a Diablo that's going back to heal or something. And that makes for some pretty exciting stuff. I feel like I don't know if that was intentional, but I think that's great.
Yeah.
I know I keep stealing it away here, but I just keep, like, there's so much more satisfaction in being in a 2-versus-1 battle, or a 2-versus-2, or however many numbers it is. There's so much more satisfaction when you kill somebody when you've had to work for it.
Yeah.
When you just kill somebody in 1 or 2 hits again.
Well, I mean, it's satisfying for the person who kills them.
It is, but there's so much more excitement to the kill when you said, I earned that kill.
Yeah, it's more strategy-based.
Yeah,
more than
like,
just straight up, I do way too much damage, so I can just, like,
and that's why we play video games, because it's fun, and that's what makes it fun, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Earning your kills rather than just mindlessly dropping an ability and killing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my...
Another is kind of like to go on what Justin was saying there about getting them low and then having, you know, your assassin sneak around and finish them off. Like that's still part of the team fight.
Yeah.
Like that's every person doing their role. There's a support healing or CCing or doing whatever. You have the tank trying to stay up front, you know, initiating, and then you have your assassin in back or something, and then that assassin paying attention to that person who got low and retreated away from the rest of his team, and whether it's Zeratul or Nova or whatever, goes into the jungle and comes around and snipes him and gets that final kill, or gets that kill. He's doing his job, and it leaves that option for him. I mean, you look at Smite, and I guess Loki can do that in Smite, or Shaco, I suppose, in League of Legends and whatnot. There are those, you know, the assassin roles that are capable of doing
they're
that.
too squishy to be an actual part of the team fight.
Yeah.
Because they just get blown up by, like, Artemis or somebody else who is literally going to 2-shot them at full build.
Mm-hmm.
Like, auto attacks, not even abilities, auto attacks.
Yeah.
Like, there hasn't been one battle in Heroes of the Storm that I have seen anything close to that. The only time I have seen somebody, like, literally get blown up when it's a 5-versus-1.
Yeah, but that's the other thing. Like, I think that what they're trying to do also is level and balance the playing field between characters. Because, like you said, like in Smite and stuff, there's characters who do quite a bit of damage, but they're really squishy.
Mm-hmm.
But in this one, everyone kind of is on a level playing field. So it comes down more to strategy, like getting more people than they do at a certain point, or, you know, things like that, and playing the game more strategically, more than just like, I'm going to do a full build so I can, like, 2-shot people.
Yeah, because it's objective based.
Yeah.
Like,
And so it's like you said, it's not about, like, how many kills you get and things like that. It's about controlling the map, and causing them to go back helps you control the map. And so it's not about having all those kills.
In regards to things being more powerful, I do feel like towers and stuff need to do a little bit more damage.
Yeah.
I also feel like in every other MOBA, I mean, maybe they want to try something different, but to me, in every other MOBA, if you attack a player within their tower, the tower targets you. The minions target you. In this, they don't. And I find that just it doesn't really give you a safe place in regards to in the fight. You'd have to retreat behind your wall or behind your gate or whatever. But, like, I feel like they need to incorporate that in order for I don't know, like the towers to really do their job. Like I don't feel like they're doing their job at all.
There should be a punishment versus reward.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
The towers need. I think because there is ammo, and the ammo can run out.
Yeah.
These towers should hit harder.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that like they have to kill you in one hit, but when you're under a tower and you're attacking a hero, you should feel the pressure of having to leave the tower.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you should have to go in, do a couple hits. If you kill him, that's fine. If not, then you have to hightail out of there because you will die from the tower.
Yeah. It has to be.
I don't get that feeling from seeing other people
No,
play.
it's definitely doesn't feel like a risk versus reward situation.
There isn't none.
And it should feel that way, especially because those are like main objectives of the map.
Yeah,
getting down their defenses.
You can die without punishment.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be like that.
No.
I agree.
I don't think, anyways. I don't know what direction they want to take the towers.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's just
they should be more of a
like the beta's been out like what? I mean,
Well,
not even
alpha.
the beta. Alpha's been out like what? 2 weeks?
Yeah.
A week and a half? So I mean, I don't know.
like all this can change, but as it is now.
Yeah, just from the perspective that we have right now, from
Yeah.
where the game stands, what Blizzard has given the community is, it's good. It's awesome. I love what I see.
I will say this though, if like I know what they want to do in regards to making the games a little shorter than your typical MOBA, and the tower's not directly attacking the hero.
It allows for that, I suppose.
Because if the longer you're at the tower, the longer you sit there, the risk versus reward. Well, you can either risk and try and get in there and possibly die, or
So, do you think making towers stronger will make it?
It'll increase game length for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
It would definitely increase
Yeah,
game
because
length.
you'd be backing off towers more.
Yeah, you won't be able to take them out
You
faster.
think you'll see more people start farming,
Possibly.
or do you think it'll force objectives harder?
It might force
objectives
objectives
so you
harder.
could get stronger, so you
You could
could
do
take on
both.
towers.
Yeah.
Well, look at the maps, right? Like, you have the Dragon Shrine.
Yeah.
Is that the name of the map? Dragon Shrine? Anyways, the one where you get the 2 shrines and you control the dragon.
Shire.
Yeah, and
Sure.
then someone turns into a one of the
Dragon
dragons.
King.
Yeah.
That dragon does tons of damage versus structures. Like, normally you see a team get that dragon, they'll just push mid because that's the lane you're sitting in already, and you want to take advantage of the time you have. You destroy like sometimes 2 to 3 towers or a fort or a wall, like, and he has that ability where he can actually kick another hero, like super far. Like, I've seen people get kicked into other lanes.
Well,
But
like saying that he's going to capture like 2 or 3 towers and a fort. Now, is that under circumstances where the entire team on the opposing team that doesn't have the dragon collapse on the dragon, or are they just letting him kind of freely do what he needs to, and they're pushing other lanes? Like, what are the circumstances?
You're still
of it?
attacking. him, right?
Ideally, you now have 4 heroes and a dragon versus 5 heroes. But when both of those shrines are taken, like, there's those beams that shoot up, like, from the top and the bottom of the map that shoot into the shrine, and it's really, really obvious that that team is now able to capture something. The announcer actually even says that, this team has both shrines. And so there's normally a team fight going into getting that shrine. And so normally it's not 5-on-5 for the time that dragon's taken, because people know how strong that is. If you lose that fight, chances are you're going to lose at least 1 tower.
Yeah.
But if you lost a couple guys, if it's now a dragon and 2 plus 3, that's a huge advantage. Because the dragon can be CC'd. You can stun the dragon. You can't heal him. Little things like that. Like, Tyrande is actually really, really good at doing her little air shot that stuns the dragon. And people are just doing mass damage. And every hit that dragon doesn't do to a town is a win, as far as they're concerned. Because it's
also like the golem too, though. Like, if you
Right.
get all the skulls, like if you get majority of the skulls, if not all of them, like 100 to 0 or whatever, that thing's just gonna destroy like everything.
Yeah.
It just runs down. It takes hits like
It ignores.
It's just
it
ridiculous.
ignores heroes.
Yeah.
it
See, that's the other
ignores
thing
minions.
is, like, all the objectives are going to be attacking structures, right?
Right.
So, like, the dragon is there for structures. The cannon fire from the
Yep.
from the
Blackhearts. boat.
Blackheart's Bay is destroying towers, and then the golem's destroying towers. So it's going to make those objectives all that more important. Because, like you were saying, a lot of people on the Haunted Mines map don't even go down to kill the things to get the golem because it's faster to push because the towers don't attack you.
Yeah, they push a lot.
They push a lot harder than a golem would.
And
that's a tweak that needs to change.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If they change it so that the towers are attacking heroes more, and
you're not going to see that push.
Well, that's the thing. Objectives are going to become that much more important. You'll have to go to the mines. You'll have to have those team fights, and the objectives are going to be even more important. Whereas right now, as it stands, objectives are kind of, oh yeah, there's an objective on this map. It's kind of fun, whatever. I can just go up and walk up to a tower and start hitting it.
Yeah.
With it, regardless of if I've done the objective or not.
Yeah.
And so I think if heroes are more scared of towers, then it's going to push objectives so that they can actually take out towers more, which could increase game time. But I don't know. It feels better. I'm
okay with that though. I'm okay with a
little bit longer,
5-10 minute longer game.
Yeah.
For doing objectives.
Yeah, because like right now, Haunted Mines. What's the point of the objective?
It's kind of
like it's.
I don't want to say like it's kind of broken.
A little bit right now.
In a sense of the objective.
Yeah,
honestly,
but that's the thing. Like it would cause objectives to be.
But I don't even know if broken is the right word.
Yeah,
it needs to be tweaked.
It's not balanced. It's not balanced.
There's a different meta to it right now.
The reason why you can push without going to the mines is because the first mine opens around the same time as you can start taking mercenaries. And when you're pushing with those super heavy mercenaries, and you have almost none of the enemy team there to defend, you can do so much damage that you can do more damage in a good push than the golem's going to do with 100 skulls, especially at the very beginning of the game. Like, for the first two, if you just grab the mercenaries and go, you're fine. But to counter that, what teams are doing is they can still kind of send one or two in the mines, but you're fighting over the mercenaries. Because if they don't have the mercenaries to push for them, you could defend fairly well with some tower support. Especially if you get, whoever does the most, area of effect damage. You keep those to defend with the towers. You can, eat up that time that it takes to get the skulls. And then it's kind of like penalty killing in hockey. I don't know if any of you guys watch hockey. But if you could do that penalty kill, then you're on even footing again. And the skulls don't make much of a difference because you both have golems. So, like right now, it's a lot of guys taking advantage of not knowing the maps. And not knowing that, hey, you can get a huge advantage if you just ignore the objective and go for the mercenaries. But if both teams know that, and if both teams know what they're getting into, you can probably, the meta can kind of take care of that, I think. Like, once we start seeing ranked play, obviously that hasn't started yet, but I think if a full team knows what they're doing, in order to get to level 30, you're probably playing, 100 games or so. You know your way around that map. And a little bit of communication, you should be able to counteract that build, or that meta, whatever you want to call it. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I think Blizzard's not too worried about the balance of the maps. I think they're worried about like grain crashing bugs and little technical issues. That's why they're calling it a technical alpha. Even though the gameplay looks really, really good, the rest of it's pretty much a shell.
And like watching streams, the only thing that I've actually noticed that's kind of common is that some people's microphone peaks out every time they go into a game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Carbot.
Every game.
Weird.
Every game, you hear his mic peak out, and he's just like, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, everybody. He needs to go in and tweak it.
Carbot's the same way.
Sorry, guys. I'm sorry, everybody. And then it was doing that to John Carbot, actually, as well. His mic was just peaking out, and he would have to adjust it every match. Yeah. But, I mean, that's what this is there for. This is
it's to figure all that stuff out. Yeah.
Like,
but I don't know. I still think towers should be scary.
I agree. Yeah, for sure.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
Well, think about it. Wait till the community can build maps. Like when you have a tower set up, it's 2 towers, that gate that's like a force field kind of thing, and then 2 little walls. If you replace those walls with another 2 towers, that's probably enough to kill minions quick enough that heroes are nervous about diving in there. And then normally just behind that you have another one. So I could see the community kind of build it around that.
But then you're just like piling up towers to make
Yep.
it scary.
But not really, because as long as there's minions there, the towers will attack the minions. They
Right.
won't attack the heroes.
Yeah.
So if that's gonna happen, then it has to be that the moment you touch
Another
another hero,
player.
those 4 towers are on you, or those 2 towers are on you, and you feel it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You have to feel it. From what I can see, they're just little
Clunks.
pokes that
Yeah.
even the squishiest character can sit there and fight for another 10 seconds underneath towers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it should be like that.
Yeah.
That's
And this kind of goes back to the point that we were starting to like, heroes don't
It is.
die as easily.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
And
that's-
even versus
but that's-
towers.
But
Yeah.
that's different versus it's different versus towers versus heroes, because at some point in the game, towers are non-existent. If you still have all of your towers, then generally you're pushing pretty hard and you're winning the game.
Breadman brings up a point. Is like he's like the thing about the towers is that I couldn't tell if the damage is increased every time it hits them.
Yeah.
Like it's
Right.
not even that much of damage.
It doesn't get
It
progressively.
can't tell.
Like
Yeah.
that, because
Because
the damage is so low.
in Smite, like we play a lot of Smite, so we always go back to Smite.
Yeah.
But in Smite, even the tankiest of tanks, at some point, have to leave a tower because it's progressive damage.
Yeah.
1 hit, yes. 2 hits, you're fine. 3 hits,
You're
you
getting
start
worried.
to feel it. 4 hits, it's like, okay, you guys need to kill this tower,
Or
I'm
get
gonna
out.
die, or kill this hero and make my death worth it.
Yeah.
But
It-
League is very similar.
Is it? I
The
don't know. Is
tower
it progressive
hits her-
damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
It's-
towers
yeah.
are noticeable in
Yeah.
I like Smite better. So
I think the progression damage in League is actually greater than.
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah.
It's
It feels
Smite.
a lot stronger.
Yeah. See, there's a point where it's too much, and there's a point where it's not enough, and
Well, it's fine.
that comes from community feedback as to what we want to see, and then it's up to Blizzard, which I feel like the StarCraft side of Blizzard listens very well.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot harder with World of Warcraft for them to
It's
listen
so
to the
big.
community
Yeah, 'cause
because
it's
there's
so
so
huge.
much more that you can't just cater to.
Everybody.
Yeah.
To just a couple of subreddits or just a couple posts on the forums, because there's millions of people that are playing the game.
Yeah.
And not to say that your opinion doesn't matter, but at the same time, your opinion doesn't matter. But from what I've seen is that, the StarCraft side of Blizzard, they tend to listen to the community quite a bit. And that's who's working on Heroes is
Yeah, a lot of that original team.
a lot of the StarCraft 2 team. So, I'm hopeful. I would like to see the tower to the changes. And again, like going back to the main point that we were at, I like where the damage output is and the damage intake of the heroes that I can see. Like, I personally like where it's at. Because there's a reward for killing somebody, and it's a lot greater than it is to just nuke somebody in one cooldown.
Mm-hmm. Dunk Train brings up a pretty good point. He says that progressive/significant tower damage is not necessary to the genre, and it isn't a fundamental issue. Look at Dota. No progression, tanks ignore towers, and squishies get hurt. I don't play a lot of Dota,
Yeah, I can't.
but I don't know. Like because Heroes is such an objective-based game, and getting those towers down is part of it. I think they need to be a little bit more scary. Because even squishy characters can run in and take out a tower because they don't
like
it
you
doesn't
said
matter.
before, the objectives that are there are to take
out
down the
towers.
towers. It shouldn't be up to the heroes to take down the towers. You should be getting the objectives to take the towers down.
Yeah, because Heroes is different in Dota in the fact that like there's objectives on the map, and those objectives are there to help you take down towers, and so towers should be more scary to heroes
To give us a reason
to give you a reason
Yeah.
to get the objective.
And
on
that's
the
why I
map.
think if they make towers stronger versus heroes, that instead of just people farming the lane, I don't think we'll see that in heroes.
Yeah.
I really don't. I think we'll see people focus more on objectives.
Yeah.
Because it's not traditional. It's not in a sense where you're like, I need to get to level, 10, or I need to get this.
Yeah.
I need to get these double ones. I need to get the skulls and the hunted
Yeah,
ones.
and that's the thing. We're not saying like
to get this portal.
we're not saying that
this shrine.
it has to be progressive damage, but it has to be enough damage to the player where they're like, okay, whoa, I need to back out. I need to like start working on the objectives.
I can't take that
I need
tower.
to get a few more mercenary camps before I try to take out this tower.
There's no way that I
Whereas,
can take this tower.
I'm like 5 minutes into the game and I'm running up and killing their tower because there's no
it should be,
there's no consequence.
Yeah, let's get Blackheart to fire on this so we can push harder.
Yeah.
And we can push further, and we can create more space for team fights.
Yeah,
I see that. At the same time, I kind of like the way it is right now, whether it's intentional or not, right? Like Blizzard might have wanted it to be that towers are scary, and currently they're not really. But it gives you the option to push for the objective, or if you think you're good enough, to try to not to, and push on your own. Like, so it kind of increases the amount of correct choices that you can do in the game.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a bad thing, but yeah, maybe some tweaking is needed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
I mean,
seriously.
Like this is again, like this is what we said before. This is what it is. It's trial and error. That's what beta testing's for. That's what alpha testing's for. Is to see how it is that their thoughts being implemented into the game work.
Yeah, the balance is probably nowhere near their concerns.
Yeah.
Like Heroes Nexus is that website where these guys are data mining some stuff. The day before the technical alpha went live and people started streaming it, they reported that a huge patch went through, and there's actually a lot of balance things that happened. I think it was probably like every other hero had some fairly significant change done to their stats or done to their abilities in the way that that would be considered balance.
Yeah.
But with the most recent patch, they touched Uther a little bit, and they only touched like 2 or 3 heroes. They didn't do a whole lot. The rest was, the technical game. Please don't crash on us kind of patch bits.
Yeah.
But good. Any last points you guys want to touch on before we move on, or?
Over that? No, I think we touched on.
No, like I said, like I know I kind of talked a lot on that, but like I said, like I'm kind of passionate about where it is with the damage and stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
All right.
Breadman
Breadman has a point. We might as well jump into that before we.
We started touching on that last week. For anyone who.
Well, the last podcast.
Yeah, last week, 2 weeks ago. Our last podcast.
We know a lot more. We know a lot more with the game now than we did last week, or last 2 weeks ago, because it was only out for 2 days. But the whole thing of no items and looking at people who are making these Reddit posts or on the forums, saying as an avid Dota player, as an avid League of Legends player, like here's what I've noticed, like here's my experience in Heroes. Take a guy like me. I can hop into a Smite game and I'll probably be the worst on your team. If I hop into League of Legends team, I'll probably be the worst on your team. But I'm not awful at computer games. Like, as far as things are concerned, I would consider myself to be a video game player. I'm fairly competent in StarCraft. I love Hearthstone, all that kind of stuff. So anyways, for a guy like me, I can hop into a game of Heroes, and right away it gives me 3 or 4 or 5 choices, depending on which hero you're playing with. And you can read right there exactly how it affects you. Items, now there are some very small exceptions on some of the games, but let's say Smite, because that's the one I've been playing most recently. All of the items buff your current stats, whether it be, MP5 or your mana regen. Actually, those are the same thing, aren't they? But your mana regen or your attack power, whatever, it just buffs those stats. But the talent system sometimes gives you a whole new ability. Sometimes it makes, let's say, Sergeant Hammer, the siege tank, it gives her an extra mine of the 3 or 4 that it drops. And later on, you can do another one. Or you can choose to have a little ability where, it's not just stat changes. You don't just hit harder. You don't just run faster. You don't just, tank more, which is kind of the 3 big things that items do in all these other games. It can fundamentally change your character, even to the point that you can choose your ultimate. Mm-hmm. Every hero, I think Abathur's the only one that doesn't, but every hero, except for Abathur, has an option of 2 different ultimates or 2 different heroic powers, and that makes for a lot of flexibility. Because say you have a game like League of Legends, I don't know how many items there are. I'm gonna say maybe 100. Half of them, doesn't matter what you're playing, are probably wrong. Because they're just not in the meta. They're not what's being used. But the way that they're trying to build heroes is that in different circumstances there is no wrong choice per se. Like
everything is relevant in some sort of way.
Right.
Well,
like,
yeah,
depending on the
you're
map
not-
or
you're not
depending
trying
who
to-
you're playing
You're not trying
against.
to just boost all your stats through items. Like, you don't want to be like, oh, I'm going for crit damage because I'm this character or whatever. You're going for like, oh, I like that this gives me an extra spider mine, so I can do a little bit more damage with this ability. Or like, I like this ultimate over the other ultimate choice because this is happening on this map, or things
Or
like that.
versus like Trende, when you can heal somebody,
Yeah.
and it gives them a speed boost.
So I think
Or
it's giving you
cloak.
more choices than items do.
Yeah.
Because items,
more.
yeah, you're gonna have a choice, but you're like, oh, am I going attack speed, or am I going crit, or am I, going magic defense or physical defense, things like that. Whereas this is my character. I'm building it the way I want to through its abilities instead of worrying about like your underlying
It's kind of neat
stats.
because they've kind of taken World of Warcraft without the gear
yeah,
and just put the talent system in there,
yeah,
like the old talent system.
well, kinda.
I think it also it adds more versatility in just the game itself. I mean, you can get items that do something bonus, like I don't know, like Hydra's Lament and Smite. There's other things in other games, but basically it adds damage to your ability. If you use an ability, your next auto attack or whatever, it does increase damage, that kind of stuff. But if you go into heroes, you have an ability like, okay, you get a heroic ability like Zeratul, and he's got 2. One does damage, and one completely CC somebody for 5 seconds or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like 2 completely different things, but game changing in the sense of, well, you can have Zeratul just do more damage than he's doing, or you can just use an ability to CC someone out of a fight to take out somebody else in the fight, and then converge on the second guy afterwards.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's game changing in that sense, I think personally.
And that's another perfect example of that is Diablo.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. The
You
way
can-
you
you
can
can
choose
take
your
his-
different talents.
You
and
take his
abilities.
breath, which is pure damage.
It's stationary.
You don't move; it's channeled. Or you can take a stun that stunned everybody on the
Yeah.
team.
Yeah,
So if you're going damage build with Diablo, then you can toss somebody back, knock him into a tower or into a wall, any sort of object, and stun them and ult.
yeah.
And it doesn't kill them. Which, going back to point 1, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that even though you ulted on somebody and you
not
dumped
necessarily-
all of your abilities, they are still at half health.
No.
Yeah.
Well, it makes
Yeah,
ganking and like communication much
Up.
more important.
Yeah.
The other big part, I think, I touched on this last podcast, was you don't have to go back to base to get your item or to
Right.
get your talent.
Yeah.
You're doing it on the spot as you go. I mean, as you're learning, you're still you're looking at them, okay, I want, which one do I want? But as you figure out your character, each hero or whatever, you know what everything is. So, okay, you get to level 5 and you know, okay, I'm going to get this talent or whatever it may be. And so you know exactly which talent is what, so you can do it on the fly and just really fast and not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But instead of going all the way back to base just to get your next item or your next talent.
And it also adds to the speed of game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's just
It
trimming down the
saves
fat.
time.
Yeah, trimming down the fat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I feel we talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm changing the subject now because I said we always have our meetings or whatever. I said we could talk a lot about this, and we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just one
Let's
topic.
Yeah.
move on.
Let's kind of move on.
All right.
Yeah. Let
So-
us know what you guys think.
Yeah. Good
Point-
question, Brad.
Yeah, Redman. Good point.
Point 2 for this podcast. Looking at
This boy.
okay, this is something that Destiny brought up. He brought it up in Chanman's podcast, if I remember correctly, actually. If you guys don't know Destiny, he did professional StarCraft for a little bit, didn't win any tournaments, but he's very much
He had a child.
You got a kid?
he has a kid. Yeah. But oh no, Destiny's Child.
Oh my god.
I get it now. Anyways, Destiny, he's a streamer.
There you go.
And he has a pretty big fan base and whatnot, and he's fairly well spoken. But anyways, one of the things he talked about is, at one point he took a hiatus from StarCraft and started playing League of Legends pretty heavily, and that's all he was streaming. And this went on for maybe 3 or 4 months. And he said when he's playing League of Legends, he can sit there and look at his stats, and he can say, well, it's obvious that I'm improving. I'm doing better now. I'm a better support than I was last month, or I'm a better AD carry than I was last month. We don't see that in Heroes. The whole thing of a KDA, where you have your kills and your assists per death, we can see that at the end of each game, but it's less relevant. Like, the fact that you can kill people is important. It shows, they were positioning bad, or you were ganking well, or whatever. You were doing better in team fights. But that doesn't mean that, you can be behind in kills and you can win the game. Like, there's much more than just experience, and there's whatever. So Blizzard doesn't really tell us much. Now, we know that the client is very much a shell. It doesn't actually tell us a whole lot of anything. But what can Blizzard do as a developer? What can they do to let us know as a player that we're improving or not? Like, let's say ranked play comes out tomorrow. We all have the game, and we want to get to Masters or whatever their ladder system is. How can we know if we're doing any better than we were before?
Well, I think in game, it doesn't matter as much, because you'll feel it as a team. If your support is slacking, you'll feel it. In a team fight, if they're not healing, if they're not doing their job that they're supposed to, you're going to feel it. Obviously, I want to see individual stats because, like every gamer, we're prideful. We all think that we all got the kill. We all think we got the last hit. But I think you'll see it outside of the gameplay itself. Like, you'll be able to look up stats and stuff like that. How they implement it, I don't know, but I like the idea of the just like the takedowns being a collaboration of kills and assists that you participated in. Because it takes, like, if you see that, there's one person on your team that's doing all the job, it's going to create tension between your team. Like, if you're doing, like, competitive play and stuff, people start pointing fingers, and you stop working as a unit, and you stop working as a team.
So I think it would be good in-game when you're playing and stuff, like the takedowns is fine, seeing just, like, the fights and people that you've assisted in taking.
You're like, hey, like, you didn't participate in 15 of these kills.
But I think outside the game, like when the game's over, maybe there should be stats.
Maybe not even so much that, but like you can go to a profile and you can click on.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like outside the game.
Yeah.
You can
I thought
see,
you meant like a menu.
Oh
after
no.
The game,
like outside the game somewhere, you can track your, your kills, death rate, kill to death ratio, your assists, your win percentage with that hero,
damage to minions,
damage to towers,
neat,
stuff
right?
like that.
I think
because then you can see where you're good at and improve, or where you're bad at and improve on that.
Exactly, because I don't think it has to be in the game, because this game is so focused on team play, so focused on working together.
Yeah.
That it doesn't need that competitiveness between players.
Yeah.
On the same team
In the game.
I don't think it needs it. That's
right.
Especially for new players.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because then you can be like, well, this guy's garbage. Like that, it takes the toxicness out of the community, which will ruin a game 100%. Toxicity.
Yeah, let's say Nova. Toxicity?
What? Toxicity of the city.
Okay, so Nova, one of her ults, I don't remember the other one, but anyways, one of her ults is she has this global kind of call down. I guess it's supposed to simulate a nuke, but it looks like there's a big laser coming from space.
Orbital thing, yeah.
And the other one's a 3-hit thing.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It shoots 3 times or something. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Yeah. She charges. She's like.
Yeah. It does a good amount of damage.
So anyways, the one is global.
That's what they should use it.
Yeah.
Pew pew.
Okay, so the one is global. So let's say you're Nova, had to run back to base, whatever, and you are knocking down this one hero. Let's say you're knocking out Diablo, which is pretty hard to do. He's pretty tanky. And you finally get him down to like really, really low health, and you're just about to seal that kill, and Nova does her ultimate and steals the kill. If that was League of Legends or Dota or Smite, or I haven't played Han, but you know, in these games, you'd probably get pretty angry. Like, that was a free kill for them.
Yeah.
You can't ask me. What the heck?
Right. Like, you kill stole and whatever. But in this game, you both get the same amount of credit.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's no toxic whatsoever. If a guy's taking out mercenary camps and you say, hey, I could help him, it's on my way and it's going to make it go faster, it's better for the team. Like, all of the decisions, anywhere you can deal damage, is better for the team. Whereas if you're playing, well, let's say we're all playing Smite, I'm the worst player out of the four of us by far. And if, let's say I'm playing Thor, for anyone who's familiar with Smite, he can kind of run up in the air and come slamming down. And if I'm gonna do that and slam down on somebody that Jordan has just done almost all the damage to and steal the kill, chances are Jordan will get angry at me. And that's just how that game is functioned. Like, that's how that game works.
That's how any Dota game
Probably call you a tool, but
so
if it was another player, I might.
But in Heroes, that's encouraged, because the faster you can kill that hero, that means the faster you can get to doing something else. And the whole thing is non-stop action. So the whole thing of only telling you takedowns, I am completely okay with.
Me too.
Yeah.
100%.
But like I said,
But
it would
give
be
me-
nice to know stats
But give me
outside
personal
the game.
stats
Yeah.
outside the game.
Yeah.
Yes.
But during the game, it's not necessary. You don't need it.
because
It
I
would
agree
actually be
with
bad.
what you said that
Yeah.
you want to know how you're progressing with that character.
Yeah. Am
Yeah.
I doing
You
better
can
with
say,
support
hey,
than I was before?
You know what? I just can't play this character no matter how many times I play it. Like, I'm like that with Hell. I love Hell in Smite, but I cannot play her for nothing. And I know that
Yeah.
because I can go back and I can look at my individual stats for her. See my win-loss ratio with her. I can see what I've healed. I can see how many people I've killed.
Yeah.
Like, I can see
Yeah, because it shows like your
everything.
team healing
It
and how much
shows
you've done and everything.
So it would be nice to see that for your own personal progression in the game.
I also think, I mean, you got to keep in mind that the community itself is going to be able to create maps.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
guaranteed the typical Dota map will be there. And so if it's possible to have something like that and then have, I doubt they'll have the team kills. It'll be all personal,
Yeah.
just like the typical Dota map.
Something, yeah.
You know, Dota scoring and everything. And so, I mean, the options will be there. You know, if that's the kind
And
of
if
play
that's
that
what you want to do,
yeah.
if that's what you want to play, then
I mean,
by all means,
I-
like, give us options.
I'm
which is
okay.
cool.
I'm okay with like the whole objective things, and then the team kills altogether, the takedowns and whatnot. But I too, I mean, I like to see my personal progress within the game as well. I mean, I
Right.
love the whole Dota concept. I love League of Legends and Smite and everything, and I like to see my KD ratio and everything within the game. Like, oh man, I'm doing so good, blah blah blah. And so I like to have that option. I can switch if I want to do some maps where it's objective based. It's there. If I just want to go straight kills and just play a typical Dota game with Blizzard characters, which I love. I mean, I think that'd be great. Like, I really want to get into that too. So,
Mm-hmm. The only sad thing is it's not going to be like individual pentakills and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're not going to be like, you know, this character, you just killed all 5 of their other team, and you're
Yeah,
like, yeah,
pat on the
I'm
back.
awesome.
I mean,
it's still fun, but
it's still fun.
it's
to
not
know that
necessary,
you guys
but-
work together to get that pentakill.
yeah.
Like, it's because I don't think there's going to be, because of how we were talking before, but how the characters, the heroes are not super squishy.
Yeah.
So getting a pentakill is going to be
A big
A
deal.
team
even
effort.
harder to get.
It's a team effort.
Yeah.
It's really going to take a lot of teamwork to pull off the penta.
Yeah.
Because if people can just, like, characters like Uther can just walk away. Well, look, I don't know, this kind of just popped in my head. Are you even going to see a pentakill with an Abathur on the team?
Yeah.
You
It would
could.
be-
Like,
If,
is that even possible to get a pentakill? Unless,
If he's
Unless
ulting,
there's just like running around like
Unless everyone with like a global alt like drops on him.
that's
He's
true,
just in the
actually.
base, like,
Just Elite Torn and like Nova and like Diablo and
I guess Diablo can kill him.
It's all
yeah,
on him.
5 alts all on him.
Abner's
All
just
on
like,
and he still doesn't die.
He's like
no, he just
burrows
freaking
away.
burrows away and takes off.
Friggin'
Just comes
Zoidberg's
out
out of
waxes
there.
All right, good. Have we talked this one to death?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, this is something that we'll definitely touch on again once ranked play comes out and the game becomes more rounded as far as wanting to improve and that kind of stuff. So, kind of putting that in the back burner because most of this stuff isn't in the game because Blizzard isn't focused on it right now. They're worried about bugs. They don't really care much about this little stuff, and that's we're totally okay with that. Okay, so moving on to point number 3. This is something that that I think is kind of cool. People that are data mining have been able to find out kind of what Blizzard's intentions are. Now, for those that aren't aware, data mining is when people can kind of go on to Blizzard's, not so much their servers, but the content that's made public but normally not viewable, they can kind of dig through and see parts of files that maybe aren't actually visible in the game itself. And announcer packs is one of those things. And so we have, currently it's a female voice. I think there might be a male voice as well. But, she'll do the countdown, game starts in 10 seconds, or, player's been killed, or, shrines are activated. And it's a fairly boring voice. That's actually a complaint I've heard from a couple of, different Reddit threads and whatnot. That it's very anticlimactic.
I'm just gonna cut you off. If that's the only real complaint that you actually have, come on,
It's a tech alpha.
This is a tech alpha, and that's what you're complaining about.
Yeah.
It's the voice.
It's probably
of
just
the
some dev
announcer.
dude.
They're clearly doing something right.
Yeah.
That's hitting a spot in you that you enjoy the game.
Yeah, that's the part you're
And
picking
that's
on.
And you're just looking for something.
yeah.
But on the flip side, this is something that can be awesome. So here's the list that they were able to pull off. So we have Abathur. Now this is going to be kind of weird because Abathur is also a player, like a controllable, creature in the game. So you can have him as your teammate, and then all of a sudden he's announcing the countdown timer when people have died. That's kind of goofy. But Abathur has an awesome voice. Also Cho, which is that panda, right, from
Warwalker Cho.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he's...
Rock and Roll Racing.
And Aaron.
I don't know if you guys have. No, that would be hilarious.
you got a thing, girl.
I heard Rocky.
Yeah.
I don't know. I vote
Rock?
Rocky. I would get the Rocky pack in a heartbeat.
The Terminator pack.
Dun dun.
So, Rock and Roll Racing. That's a game that came out before the original Warcraft.
Nintendo or something, right?
And then you have the Lost Vikings, I think was the...
It's the first one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Blizzard, now, in a question and answer that they had 2 months ago, someone brought up that question, hey, are we going to see things that aren't in the Standard 3, which is, StarCraft, Warcraft, and Diablo? Are we going to see things apart from that? And the answer was, we haven't done any of that yet, but some of the artists have been doing drawings, and we do want to do it.
I remember seeing that.
So,
Brett, no, we're not talking about skins. We're talking about announcer voice packs.
Voice packs.
Announcer voice packs.
So here, I'll actually play an example. So talking about Abathur, you guys won't hear this on the couch, but the viewers will. As soon as I unmute Chrome. All right, we're gonna try this again.
Ally slain.
That was pretty loud, but so they just
R.I.P.
Abathur
Enemy
just screaming in
attacking
your ear.
palace must defend.
so that was just a couple of examples of what Abathur. That's what they've been able to pull off the actual Blizzard files. And yes, we have Rock and Roll Racing. We have Shen. I don't know who Shen is. This guy.
The panda.
Oh, okay. This guy I'm really excited for. Deckard Cain.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. I'd be one of those goofy, funny ones that you just can't help but giggle at every time you hear them.
I still think a hero of Deckard Cain would be wicked, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
That would be so fun.
He could kind of be like Arthur, where he stays outside of the fight.
Going down the
Walking out
lane.
his cane. He does things with scrolls.
He's like, I have a story to tell you. Roderick Cube.
Stay a while and
He
listen.
like captures you inside of it, transforms you into nothing.
All right, and then the last couple we have.
Dude from Murloc. Lets you go.
Go on, be free.
Okay, we have human,
Roderick Cube.
orc, blood elf, night elf, gnome, and forsaken. I really hope that the human and the orc are from Warcraft 2.
Well, I hope the orc is somebody. Well, I know who you want to have as a voice pack.
I want, as a voice pack, Vol'jin. Vol'jin would
Even
be cool.
Thrall would be pretty cool, I think.
Yeah.
Double kill.
Yeah. It'd just be cool to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
that's
think
something.
Sylvanas, Lady Sylvanas.
So
sick.
yeah.
Who's that one boss that we always quote?
Oh, the like big serpent, the big like.
That's all you
Haradra.
hear is just
Yeah.
rumbling.
I don't know what's going on.
It's kind of like
I just can't.
I know something happened because he said something.
it's kind of like StarCraft when you have.
Peasant voices should be a
Yeah.
Yes, me
bread man.
Right.
Magic kill. All right.
What? Work. We're being attacked.
I just stuff like that make the games fun. I don't know how many times we sat in lane in Smite and just laughed at Ymir or Alquan's voice.
Yeah, the voice
Alquan.
Enemy missing middle. It's just so funny to hear.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things that adds to the game and makes it that much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
That's funny stuff. Okay, so we know that Blizzard's going to start rolling these out. Probably we won't see anything until probably even an open beta. I can't imagine this is something that they're trying to rush or get out quickly. But we know it's somewhere down the pipeline.
Yeah.
And the idea is you could probably purchase them. Being a free-to-play game, Blizzard's got to make their money off microtransactions. This is probably another one. And we've heard people on Reddit, guys said he'll pay $200 for an Abathur voice pack and whatever. So, all the power to him. It doesn't change the game experience. It makes it a little bit cooler. But it doesn't make you overpowered. Or
Unless like the default voice is like Ben Stein or something.
Puts you to
You're
sleep.
gonna have to pay
Dude,
for
you
it.
know who, what's his
Alec
name?
Trebek.
You're gonna kill.
Oh man, what's his name? Can't think of his name. Planet Earth.
Oh, David
like
Attenborough?
David Attenborough.
David Attenborough. I would pay $200.
I would pay money for that.
I would pay
Money
$200 for David Attenborough to
like when I showed you the video when he was commenting
doing the curling.
Curling?
The curling.
So good. Yeah, I would pay $200 for that.
As long as he does it like a nature show.
Does the audiobooks for Game of Thrones?
Oh yeah. All in Tyrion's voice.
All right, moving on. So, right now, one of the common things that people like to pick on as far as the way heroes are is that the heroes cost a lot of gold.
You got a pentakill.
A tower's down.
Explosion!
More explosions! Sorry, Justin.
Over, guys.
Sorry.
So,
Anywho.
the way to get heroes, because they are fairly expensive. The cheapest hero you're looking at 2,000. Middle is 5,500 gold, and the most expensive is 10,000 gold. And it seems to be that the most expensive ones are the ones with the higher difficulty. And then the easier they get, according to Blizzard's ranking, they have some set to easy, medium, and hard, or very hard. Which kind of makes sense. By the time you can afford a really expensive hero, you've played the game a bit more.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Different tiers.
Yeah, so right now, the way that you get gold...
Price in real money.
Yeah.
Instead of having... Anyway.
The way you get gold right now is leveling up, which once you're past level like 15, you're looking at like 6-7 games before you hit another level. And obviously, as it goes on, it gets harder and harder. So you can't rely on that past maybe your first hero. But they do have daily quests, which is very similar to how Hearthstone does it. And guaranteed, I've played more games of Hearthstone than the three of you combined. I checked it.
I don't know about that, man.
I've checked it the other day, and I have over 500 wins.
Nobody, it's your dirty secret with your blanket over your monitor.
What are you doing, Josh? Diablo. I'm totally on
I
Diablo.
have 4 accounts that I play Hearthstone on.
That everybody know about.
Yeah, so in Hearthstone, I have over 500 wins on the ranked set, which probably means I played about 1,000. I can't imagine I lose more than half or win more than half. So I do my daily quests in Hearthstone probably every day or every other day, and that's how I get most of my packs. Like that's how I get most of my gold. If it's like that, I'm okay with it, because what it means is if you are actively playing, you might as well do the quests. So you're going to get them anyways, and that means you're going to be getting a new hero every 3 or 4 days. And I think that's pretty fair. Now, what I would like to see, and this is something that we've talked about before, and I think you guys would agree with me, is that there being some sort of reward on a game-by-game basis. So let's say you win a game, you get 50 gold. It's not much, but it's something, right? Because right now, you win a game, you get nothing, and you're like, okay, well, I guess I better do that quest because I'm nowhere near leveling up. But I think if you get like 50 for a win, 25 for a loss, something like that, I think that'd be pretty fair.
Yeah,
You have to want to play for something.
Right.
Well, you have to want to work for something, even if it's for a hero.
Or, well, I guess you can't get skins unless it's real money, eh?
Well, we don't know.
You can get
We don't know.
tints.
Usually how it works, though.
Well, I mean, you can get recolors.
Yeah,
that
so...
you buy
in
with
Smite.
in-game currency.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't all have to be with money transactions, because, in all honesty, stuff like that might drive people away. The fact that you can only get things with real money. Like, I know that's how they make their money on a free-to-play game, but it still drives a certain demographic away.
As long as the stuff that you can only get through paying money doesn't actually affect the gameplay. Like, you look at Team Fortress 2, for example. It's all about hats.
Yeah.
And that doesn't affect gameplay. I guess some of them actually kind of have a little bit of a buff of some sort. But it's not enough that it's game-changing.
Yeah. Well, that guy killed me because he's wearing a cowboy.
Yeah. So, like, I'm totally okay with that. Like, Dota has all of the heroes free all the time. Yeah. And you can buy skins, which I'm totally okay with. Because it's, if you want to put money in, if you want to support, Valve in that way, here's an option to do it, and you kind of look cool. Awesome. Everyone wins, right? And heroes...
All for microtransactions. I am.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
But what's cool...
Go.
Okay, what's cool about... you have the standard skin, like the default skin, and then you can unlock 2 different tints. So you have 3. So you have the standard one, and then 2 different tints. And it changes the skin in the fact that it changes the colors. So when you buy a skin, it becomes a completely different thing. Like, you look at Uther, he could become like a lumberjack. His hammer's replaced with a big axe and whatever. The skin changes, like, it's a different model completely. Yeah. But if you unlock the skins, or like the tints, it looks completely different, even though it's the same skin. So you can get those for free just by doing quests. And I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah, that's fine too. I mean, because you want a reward for playing the game.
Right.
That's how it is. That's why daily quests are fun, because you're getting accomplishing something in the game.
Yeah.
Rather than just a win, there's also a side bonus for it, which.
Well, that's why I've always liked. I mean, with Smite, League of Legends, and you level your account up, right? And you're getting XP. You're getting whatever the currency is, for each game, IP, RP, or favor, whatever you want to, whatever the game is. You're accumulating as you level. Then you get to max level, and so you're accumulating a lot slower, obviously. Mm-hmm. But I forget where I was going with this. But no, what I was gonna say was the other thing too is like, Smite doesn't do this, but League of Legends does it. Is you get runes, or you get the rune pages, you get the mastery pages. Like you you can customize your like builds just before you even go into a game, which adds a lot to the game. I think.
Bit
Like,
more depth.
yeah, and it adds more to your account. Like your account's a bit different than someone else. I mean, sure, there's your cookie cutter builds that you would have for pretty much any game. And for your mastery pages, you're going to want to do this kind of build, and for your runes, you're going to want these because it's just overall better. You do, your survivability or whatever, maybe damage. But it just adds a lot more to the game, being able to customize your account, in that sense. And it makes me, I don't know, want to play more, I guess, in that sense, or because I'm accumulating that currency to add a rune or to add more masteries or whatever the case may be. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah. I don't like the whole runes, and I don't like that idea.
Yeah, it's. I like that you can hop into a game and you have the same stats as a guy who's played the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you don't have to say, oh, well, you gotta wait till you're level 20 because then you get your full runes page or whatever. And then you gotta buy them all. And so, yeah, it's one less thing. You just hop in the game. It's one more thing to trim the fat on, right? But at the same time, in League of Legends, having your runes page gives you something extra to customize.
Yeah, it gives more depth to the game. But
there's an appeal there.
Yeah, there is.
Definitely an appeal. All right, so I think we pretty much all agree it's pretty good how it is. It would be cool if you could get, even if it's little amounts of gold on a game per game basis, or even as Mr. Breadman says, depending on how well you did specifically, like you get like a base that's around 20 for winning the game, and then depending on how well you did. Yeah, let's say you got like the most experience out of everyone on your team. That's a pretty good indicator of how things went, and maybe you get a bit more than everyone else. I think
depending on how many like skulls you collected or doubloons you got. And
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah, it's a lot more work on their end. I don't know how much more
because
work
they just have to track it. And then...
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to our last point. This website, Heroes Nexus, if you guys want to check it out, you can just Google that, you'll find it. But they, through their data mining, have found files of heroes that haven't been released yet. And the list is actually quite large.
It is big.
I'm going to actually flip over, change screens, pew. And if you guys have it in full resolution and full screen it, you should be able to read that list just barely. But now... I should preface this by saying that just because some of these files are in the game doesn't mean Blizzard's touching on it anymore. It doesn't mean that we're going to see them anytime soon. It just means that someone somewhere has put these files on the server, and they've made their way to us. So Zagara is at the bottom here with she was that queen from Heroes of or Heart of the Swarm. And the abilities that we can see right now are, spawn a Mutalisk, have a Baneling Barrage, Hatch Infested Terran, Nidus Worm, spawn a Hydralisk. That's pretty cool.
Nidus Worm would be interesting to see what kind of things you can do with that.
Yeah, it would be cool if you could do...
I'm curious as to,
Because in StarCraft it's like a portal, right?
It is.
Yeah.
So you could just, drop a hero or, minions or something
It'd just be cool if, you could have, even... I don't know. The possibilities are...
It's like going from your base to the middle of the fight right away. It's just like Abathur has his burrow.
Drop one in the Haunted Mines by the golem that's down there or something and put it in there, and your whole team just goes in and just goes in and out. It's... I don't know. I think it'd be really cool to see what they can do with the Nidus one.
Yeah, because they might have it be, your heroes can transport through it. Let's say you have vision somehow behind a tower, and you can do the Nidus Worm, and all of a sudden everyone on your team hits B, Hearthstone's back, and then shoots through your Nidus, and then all of a sudden you're behind towers, and you're killing a fort.
The
that'd be kind of goofy.
Potential that you can have with that is just unreal.
Yeah. Hide them behind some grass.
Going from one lane to the other instantly with a Nidus thing is... It's awesome.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I had mentioned this in a stream, I don't know, a week or a few days ago or something, but people were just talking about, I don't know, things that they could add into it, or things you could summon, or other people you could be, other characters you could be, and I thought this was a really cool idea. Ragnaros came up from Warcraft, And I thought it'd be cool to have a map where you have to summon him,
Mm-hmm.
and he comes and just starts destroying everything.
That'd be kind of cool.
Because
That would be
it would
pretty
be
sweet.
he's a summon that you summon him, like that's how he comes
into
to
the game.
Azeroth or
Yeah.
whatever, and
He's always summoned.
yeah. So it would be really cool to see him within a game where he's summoned and helps you, or he just does whatever he feels like doing. I don't know.
It's Ragnarok.
Yeah.
It's like this.
So-
He turns on your team.
Yeah.
Ragnarok.
It's like, well, I don't like you, and you got Arthas, and I don't
That
like
would be kind of a cool element, like where he gets summoned and you don't know what he's gonna do.
Bit of an example.
yeah.
Like he's just like running rampant everywhere.
he just destroys the whole map.
You have to offer
Over
sacrifices.
Ragnarok.
Just destroys towers on both sides.
Ragnarok
wins.
I win.
Both teams lose.
Like, what the heck just happened?
Another cool hero is Minsk,
Yeah.
Manx, yeah.
who's the bad guy
The
in
leader of
StarCraft.
the Confederacy or whatever.
He's the one hunting down Jim Raynor and all that.
Yeah.
And do we ever see him even as a unit in StarCraft 2? If we do, it's brief and you don't ever get to fight him. But the fact that
I don't recall.
you
It's
see him in
been a long-
cutscenes.
StarCraft campaign and stuff.
He very well could be. I don't know.
Yeah, you
I
see him in
remember.
cutscenes, and I think that's it.
No, he's portrayed a lot as like a CG or a hologram. I
Yeah.
think a lot within the campaign, like he's shown as a hologram talking and
Yeah.
whatnot. Within the game, like gameplay was. But,
That's all I can picture him as
Yeah.
right now.
And like
Yeah.
his abilities are like build a propaganda tower, have a psi emitter, which is what killed all the Zerg, Zelnaga artifact, post a bounty. Like, it seems kind of cool. Like, hopefully we have more heroes that are like Abathur. Like Dustin Browder actually, he did a write up the other day, talking about why they chose to have all heroes level at once. He says when they were initially designing it, it was going to be traditional that everyone levels individually. And then they came up with Abathur, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
And so after, a couple brainstorms and after a couple testing, they said, what if we all just level up at once? And Abathur is actually the reason. And they went on to say, well, Abathur won't be the only one who
It opens
benefits.
up
Well, that's like
so
what-
many possibilities.
That's what like Breadman just said. By his skill set, it looks like he's going to be a support character,
Right.
and
Yeah.
so he's going to be probably like an Abathur.
Yeah.
I could see, something along the lines of, I don't know, like an ent or a tree or a trent or I don't know, like or one of the ancients, the trees, the night elves or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're so big and it's probably so slow when they walk around that I could see maybe a character like that sitting in the base, roots itself from the ground and does something.
Yeah.
Something along those lines or controls weather. I don't know, like.
Just
Yeah.
dances.
Yeah, it does a dance.
Just does.
with his
A
leaves.
rain
Starts a
dance.
rain-
And then his leaves change
It
color,
heals.
and then everything
Yeah.
changes color in the season.
And if you get close to your base, you just hear.
Okay, there's quite a few data mine heroes that are there, so let's go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
we're
through
not
all
touching
of
all of them, but the Blade Master, that was one of the original heroes from the original Dota. The orc ninja, I guess is the easiest way to describe
Well,
it.
it's not like he came from Dota.
No, he was a Warcraft 3 hero, and that's
Yeah.
why he was one of the original Dota
Yeah, but
things, because it was made in the
Wait,
engine.
Weren't there Blade Masters in Warcraft 2?
Yeah, they're like
They
night
were like
elves
the
or something, right?
Berserkers, weren't they?
Or no, yeah.
No, the
they're,
Berserker's
no.
different. Berserker's like the
Those
axe throwers.
Trolls
Yeah.
were berserk.
I'm pretty sure there was Blade Masters before Warcraft.
There was-
Warcraft 3 is when they were introduced.
Was
I'm
it?
pretty sure.
Well, in
So vague.
Warcraft 1, there was those guys who rode on like wolves that had swords. Those were kind of cool. Anyways, then we have like Jaina the Mage, Cho'Gall,
Proudmoore.
She's all frost
Yeah.
abilities.
All
Yeah.
their abilities.
Rexar. That's a pretty cool
Rexar's
one.
cool.
Yeah, because he's like the last one.
He's a hunter and he's got a pet. Like he's got.
Yeah,
a
he's got that
wolf.
thunder lizard and the eagle and whatever else.
Yeah.
Sylvanas
Yeah.
is on there as well.
Nice.
Sylvanas would be really cool to
Yeah.
play.
Yeah,
Thrall. Thrall's
Yeah.
a pretty
that's
big
what I'm looking
character.
forward to. Thrall.
Yeah.
And
All his- What are Thrall's abilities again?
He's a
Frost
shock.
Frost
Oh, yeah, he's-
Shock.
Earth ground. I mean,
Earth
Earth grab.
So is he the? It sounds like he might be like an enhanced shaman then.
Well,
I don't know. He probably has all the moves.
Well, he's got Frost Shock, Lava Lash, Unleash Elements, Lightning Shield, and Earthbind Totem.
He's
So
a
whatever
enhanced
you can pull from that.
Lava Lash is enhanced.
Lava, yeah, but yeah,
He's enhanced. He's gonna be an enhanced shaman.
yeah, okay.
He's gonna tank.
What?
I think he could tank through things that he summons, like totems and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and Lightning
Yeah.
Shield and whatever. It'll be interesting. I would like to
Yeah.
see more StarCraft characters and more Diablo characters. But the thing
Yeah.
is, World of Warcraft being the size of a game that it is, there's
has
so
vast
much
shit.
lore there.
There's
Well,
so much
Warcraft in general has the most lore, I believe, out of all the games.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, how
it's
many
been around-
expansions are there? That was their
long.
first modern game, was Warcraft 1. That's the first game I ever played from
That's what I
Blizzard.
mean. And they've worked on that, I think, the most in regards to, like, lore-wise.
Are
Yeah.
the Lost Vikings
Stories.
going to be characters?
That's what he was saying
They
before.
said they want to. It's not in the plans right now, but they definitely want to.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
that would be cool.
Yeah, I think. Well, you can see how they do the Sergeant Hammer. They just took a StarCraft unit and made it a character. I think there's a lot of cool things you could do with that.
Oh, for sure. A vulture would be fun.
Vulture would be awesome.
Yeah, well, I was saying to you before,
The
like, they
Colossus.
should give Jim Raynor a vulture for his mount.
Yeah,
They should be able to get a mount for him, and it'd be a vulture.
That would be
I
cool.
would like to see that individual, like different mounts that different characters can have,
Yeah.
not just like the, like the unicorn that everybody can get. I think it would be cool that certain characters have
Yeah.
certain mounts.
Malfurion should ride like an elk, a Cenarion,
Yeah.
Yeah.
something
I
like
just think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But anyways, there's after Thrall.
Yeah, Thrall is the queen again. As it goes, we pretty much went through them all. There's other ones that we hardly know anything about, so I kind of skipped those. But it's looking good. I think, like Blizzard. This is how I was talking to friends from school. One's a really heavy League of Legends player, other one's a Dota player, and we were talking about like, yeah, there's only 23 heroes, but give it time. Like Blizzard has so much
They
lore
have
to
a
pull
lot to
from.
pull from.
Well, when we started playing Smite, there was like 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now there's, I don't even know how many.
There's like 50 something. Now.
Yeah.
And these guys are in alpha, and there's half,
22.
half of that
23,
already.
yeah.
So
Yeah, so I think
they're well on their way.
game's
For
looking
sure.
good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty polished. The graphics look good. The game seems to run very smooth on all the systems that I've seen that play it. Like it's just
Well, it's the same
Looking
engine as
good.
StarCraft, right? And StarCraft isn't an amazingly heavy game to play, so it should be
but
scalable.
it's appealing enough.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, good. So we'll wrap it up. So everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'll put it back to this screen.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Sergeant Rock. We are Quarter Circle Punch. At this channel, actually, we're trying to stream more and more. I think 3 to 4 times a week is pretty much what we accomplish. I think we're doing a lot of Smite and Diablo.
Diablo
the two
now.
games we've been touching on. Yeah, since Diablo went live, that's what we've been doing.
Raper of souls. Reaper of souls.
Rapist of souls.
So, Breadman
Oh,
says he's got the expansion.
yes, Breadman.
Finally.
It's about time. I don't have to carry you anymore.
Thanks,
with my level
Bubblegum.
50 Crusader.
All right, so this will be on YouTube probably sometime tonight. I'll upload it and go to bed. And feel free to subscribe, follow us here, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Any last words you guys got?
Yeah, watch our streams.
Yeah.
Let's play some videos.
Well, actually,
play
we gotta-
them
we gotta
games.
eat.
Oh man, I'm starving.
Yeah, we're getting some dinner
Oh,
after
yeah,
this.
food.
But yeah, follow us, like us, and yeah, give us feedback. It always
Yeah,
helps.
for sure.
We'd love
All right.
to hear from you.
Beautiful.
Cool.
Good night, everybody. Thanks
All
for coming out.
Peace.
Bye.